1. I work at an ice cream shop and get all the kinds of customers you all know about. The rude, the talkative, the nice, you get the idea. My story happened last Sunday. Sundays are always the busiest days at the shop, as it is not in the city, and a lot of bicycle tours run through the area, and families go on Sunday trips, yada yada. We usually don't do table service in the garden area because we can't overview it, so people come up to the window, order their ice cream, and then pick a place. We do have table service inside the cafe, though. Also, I live in Europe, and you might remember the hot temperatures we had last week, so here goes. The day started off not too stressful, and we weren't expecting many customers, mostly because there weren't any the days before due to the hot weather. So we weren't fully staffed, but had some on emergency call just in case. We usually open around noon. There were the few biking tours who already wanted ice cream at 10 AM, even though we weren't open yet, but that was it. We open, everything is calm. I'm alone at the window selling ice to the few people that show up, and my boss is in the back making new ice. Suddenly a line forms, and I call her for help, so we can serve them quickly, and she can go back and I can clean a little. Mind you now, the line didn't disappear until after 6 PM. It felt like all the people who didn't show up last week all came that Sunday to make up for it. The garden was packed, people ate their ice cream bowls standing outside, and some even went inside, even though it was way warmer and no breeze to cool you down a little. The line went way outside of the garden and kept going down the street. And there were still people coming. My co-workers came in and we tried to serve the people as quickly as possible, but it was barely manageable because we were still understaffed. People then couldn't decide what they wanted. They had at least 20 minutes to think about that, and slow down the line further. Some people complained about the waiting time, you get the idea. In comes a group of 10, 7 adults and 3 children. 2 of them were toddlers, one looked 6. They decided to cheat the system and sit inside because of the table service, so they wouldn't have to wait in line. Fair enough, that's how it works at the shop. It would have been nice if they'd called in beforehand, but that's how it is sometimes. I walk over and take their orders. Or I try. The kids can't decide what they want. Fine, they're kids. But then the mom starts to berate them for taking too long. Kids turn shy and quiet and take even longer, causing more berating from the mom. I finally have the 3 orders for the children and turn to the adults. Oh, I haven't checked what you've got yet. We want to make sure the children know what they want. Let me see. They took even longer than the kids. Had the most complicated orders, wanted the regular strawberry bowl, but no cream, more strawberries. Different topping and sauce and flavors that aren't even remotely close to strawberry. They then complained about certain flavors not being available, and asked me to check in the back if we really don't have any salted caramel ice cream left. Lady, I'm telling you, there were troubles with our deliveries, and we haven't had salted caramel for 3 weeks. She insists she was here a few days ago when there was salted caramel. When I asked her if it could have been salty peanut, she got offended, because she definitely had caramel. I left it at that. They got their ice cream, and 5 minutes into eating, one of the toddlers smacks down his. Tears, loud crying. I bring him a new scoop and a sugar cone, and things seem fine again. They all finish and start talking very loudly with each other. They set the toddlers loose, and the 3 kids start running around the cafe, at some point even interfering with me and my co-workers. They tried to get behind the counter and kept asking what we were doing, while the parents didn't pay any attention to that. When I asked them to please have an eye on their children, the mom told me she could hear them, so it's fine. Don't worry, while the 2 toddlers got in a screeching match. The other tables inside started to get visibly annoyed, and then my boss stepped in, told the kids to sit down, and told the adults that this is a cafe and not a playground. The mom agreed and thanked her for being stern with her kids. Not like it would have been her job to keep her children in order. They finally left, and even though we still had a huge line, I felt more relaxed immediately. It's probably not the worst table ever, but for me it was a stressful experience, especially since I just started working as a server a few months ago. 2. This happened a while back when I was a shift manager at a small gastro pub in the middle of nowhere, UK. We were based in a very rural location, but were known for good food and beer, so people would make a special trip out to us. Fully booked, we could turn over about 40 tables, and we had an upstairs area we'd only use for large groups. The staff usually consisted of a shift manager, yours truly, a waiter or 2, and the kitchen staff of 3. So we had a party of 20 or so booked. They arrive and I've been allocated no additional staff to deal with them. The guy who appears to be in charge, made the booking, etc., let's call him leader, says they want to drink at the bar until the food is ready to go. Fine. So now I'm running around the bar making sure I've got all 20 orders. Next thing, they all want steaks, so now my workload has grown. You know the drill. What sort of steak would you like, sir? How would you like that cooked? What sauce would you like? Chips, fries for my non-UK pals, or mashed potato? So I've got most of the orders. Still need to get the order from the leader and the guy he's talking to. We'll call this guy VWD. What would you like, sir? Rump steak, please. Okay, and how would you like that cooked? Very well done. Very well done. Yes. Not just well done, very well done, because we have a special button for that on the till. Yes, very well done. Okay, rump steak, yeah? Yes, you're sure? Yes! I should add here, I'm not a steak snob. You can have your steak how you wish, but rump steak is fairly tough before you cook it to cinders, hence all the checking. So I carefully ring through the 20 or so steaks and hear the ticket print in the kitchen. Seconds later, I'm summoned by the service bell to the pass.
OP, is this order correct?
Yep.
Very well done.
Yep.
Sure?
Yep. Checked and double-checked.
Okay.
Rump steak, I know. Okay. So the orders go in, and the kitchen gives me a heads up when they're 5 minutes from ready, so I can usher the party upstairs. The leader asks me to put 5 bottles of a specific wine on the table. I take 4 upstairs before food comes out, so stop doing that and begin running food. In the middle of the food run, I am presented with a tiny, shriveled black crisp surrounded by chips and salad. This is the rump steak. This is what he asked for, OP, the chef tells me. I run it up and present it to the customer before heading back down to complete the service. Next time I come up, VWD flags me down. I wonder what this is regarding. What is this? Rump steak, very well done. It's inedible. I know. It's like it's been char-grilled. It has been char-grilled, sir. The chefs cook the steaks on a char grill. Well, I need something else. I'll happily put in another order, sir, but I will have to charge you for it, as this is what you asked for. Leader then joins in. He was there when VWD ordered, and knows I checked and double-checked. Okay, I get that, but you can bring us something just to make up for it. Now, I don't really want to give them anything for free, but I also don't want to scupper my chances of a tip from this group of steak eaters. So I do some quick thinking. How about I bring you up another bottle of wine? Perfect, thanks. The attentive readers among you will call that the group had asked for 5 bottles of wine and I had served 4. I also said I would bring up another bottle of wine, not give them a bottle of wine. I proceed to place the bottle of wine in front of the leader, who graciously thanks me for the wine he is paying for. I figured the table was too large for him to count each bottle. Tip achieved. 3. It was after church rush on a Sunday, and I get sat these 2 older women, and I can already tell it's going to be a difficult table. I go over and get their drinks, 2 coffees, bring them back, and they need a few more minutes with the menu. Come back a few minutes later and off we go. The AC has made their coffee cold, and I should make a fresh coffee because this one is gross. I literally just made it, but 2 new coffees coming right up. Bring them coffees and they start to order. This is where it gets interesting. First lady's order is normal eggs, bacon, pancakes. The second lady gets the same thing, but she wants her eggs over medium, but the yolk and the egg whites can't touch. She says it'll make her sick. I say, okay. So you'd like the yolk and the whites separated? To confirm, nope, not what she wants. I want my eggs over medium, but the whites and the yolk can't be touching. But don't separate them, it'll make me deathly ill if they touch at all. I give her a confused look. Do you know what I mean? She says. Truthfully, ma'am, I'm not really sure what you're asking for. She then puts on a second pair of glasses, yes, a second, she already had a pair on, and proceeded to put another set on over them. Looks back down at the menu, then back at me, and repeats back exactly what she'd already said, but yells at this time, followed up with, "If they're touching, I will die!" At this point, my whole section is staring at us. I said, "Okay," and walked away. A table a few feet away stopped me on my way by and said, "I think she means sunny side up." I just smiled and kept walking. This lady was loud enough that my shift leader had heard it from out back. She told me to put it in as over medium, and if there was an issue, she'd go talk to her. There was a big table that got their order in before those two, so I knew it was going to be a wait, but tried to keep up on their coffee the best I could. They flagged me down a few minutes later. "It's freezing in here. The AC made our coffees cold. Can we get new ones? And can you turn down the AC?" We actually can't turn it down. The thermostat is locked with a physical key so that only management can adjust it, and there wasn't a manager in yet. But my shift leader told them she would go turn it down. I bring them new coffees, and a few more minutes go by. They flag me down again. They say the AC has made their coffee cold, and they will need new cups every 5 minutes because it's just going to keep cooling them off. Mind you, our restaurant is pretty chilly if you're not running around like we are, but these coffees are still warm. I can feel it through the cup every time I pick them up, but new coffees it is. A few more minutes, and I get sat at a table behind them. I'm taking this table order when the lady starts yelling over at my other table, "How much longer is the food going to be?" I finish taking the table's order and tell her it shouldn't be too much longer, but I'll go ask the cooks when they think they'll have it done. I go back and ask them, and they said it's only a few more minutes, but the lady had been staring at them intensely for several minutes. Their food comes up and I bring it over, preparing myself to be yelled at about these eggs. A table from another section stops me after I dropped off their food and tells me they're praying for me, and when they walk by this lady, stop and tell her she needs Jesus, then leave. A few minutes in, I go over to see how things are. I can already tell she hasn't made it to the eggs yet. She says everything is good, but did you know how they make this pancake mix where you just add water? And it's way better than the pancakes I served her. I should tell the kitchen to start using X brand to make their pancakes. Yes, ma'am. They finish their meal. I go over to see how everything was, and if they want dessert. Everything was fine. She ate the egg and hasn't keeled over yet. Her only complaints were the pancakes, and she said her sausage was too greasy, and at home she likes to dab them off with a napkin to get the grease off. She had a napkin, so why she didn't do that I don't know. Oh, and the AC made their food cold seconds after I set it on their table. She compliments me on my watch, and I thank her and tell her I got it at Walmart. I leave and they sit talking for a bit. Another server from the section over tells me while she was checking her tables, she heard them saying I must be a rich girl with a watch like that. It was $4 Walmart clearance, but whatever. They finally get up to leave. This lady picks up the whole table and looks under it. "Did I get everything?" I can hear her saying. She goes to the bathroom and comes out with a pair of rubber gloves on. Whatever, just please leave. And finally they do. No issue with their eggs. They leave a $1 tip, which honestly I wasn't expecting them to leave anything, so at least there's that. After they left and I had time to process everything, I started thinking that maybe this lady had some mental health issues as she was older. Or maybe not. Either way, she got her eggs over medium and didn't have a problem with them. So if anyone has any idea what she meant by yolk and egg whites not touching, but not separate, please let me know. 4. I work at a place that sells sandwiches, and we deliver. Today we were extremely busy during the lunch rush, and as a result, delivery time was a little slow. We were making sandwiches as fast as we could, but there were too many orders. Our in-shop line, customers who come in and order at the counter, was literally at the door. On top of all of that, we were understaffed because 2 of our employees had quit. Instead of the 5-man sandwich-making crew we should have had, it was 3 people, and one of them was a new guy who started last week. Had to stop and ask what came on every sandwich. Eventually, we just put him on the register so that the other experienced employee and I could focus on making the orders. When it finally slowed down, the last few delivery orders were still on like a 40-minute wait, which isn't even that crazy for delivery. Domino's often takes twice that when it's busy. A lady comes in, and while she doesn't have the "can I speak to your manager" haircut, she is making a face. Anybody in the service industry knows the face. Total Karen. I know it's gonna be some bullshit right away. I ordered a delivery for 3 sandwiches and it never showed up. We're hungry. We've been waiting for an hour. Perfectly possible. It's been a hectic morning and mistakes happen. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Can you give me the name and address on your order? Karen McFake name at 5555 Someplace Drive, Northwest. I pull up the order and have to really put in effort not to roll my eyes. I see that you placed the order 27 minutes ago. Our driver left with it 5 minutes ago. Well, he took too long, and I had to leave work to come get it. You guys weren't answering your phones. Not true, by the way. If we'd stopped answering phones, the morning wouldn't have been so hectic. Okay, well, we can make your order for you now and waive the delivery fee since you came to get it. What are you going to give me to make this right? I'm thinking. I said I would give you the food and the delivery fee. What the hell else do you want? Sorry, I'm not authorized to fully comp any meals. She huffs and then stands there at the counter while we make her food, which you're not supposed to do, since other people come in to order. And we have a designated spot for picking up completed orders, but whatever. I don't say anything. We give her her food and she leaves, and I text the driver telling him that he can skip that order and move on to the next one, since she already came and got it. The story should end there, right? Wrong. 15 minutes later, we get a call asking where the delivery is. And I get their name and address. I was very surprised to hear it was Karen McFake name. At 5555 Someplace Drive, Northwest. I double-checked twice. It was the same name and address. Now at first I thought that maybe someone else had overheard Karen order and came to make a fake complaint and get free food. Oh, I'm so sorry. There must be some sort of mix-up. I just had a woman come in saying that this was her order, so we made her the food and cancelled the delivery.
That was me! You said the delivery driver was on the way. Where is he?
Let me get this straight. You came to pick up the food and I gave you the money for the delivery back, and gave you the food. But you were still expecting us to deliver it? For free?
Yes, to make up for me having to leave work and get it.
Miss, you didn't have to come and get your food. You chose to. It was already on its way. If you wanted it delivered, you should have waited for the driver. Karen is no longer screaming now.
Can I speak to your manager?
Oh, you absolute fool.
Don't you know? I am the manager.
Click. Guess she didn't want to talk to the manager, huh? 5. I work at a restaurant that is part of a country club. Members pay $45,000 initial fee, plus $500 a month for their membership. Attached to the club is a nice resort with approximately 600 rooms. People will charge their bills either to their member account or to their room number. Members get a 20% discount, resort guests don't get a discount. Karen lives at the resort permanently, always charges her bill to her room, but demands a member discount saying she is a member. Our manager said to give her a discount so she could leave him alone. When Karen comes to eat at our restaurant, there is always a problem. Either there is a hair in her food that turns out to be a thread from a lemongrass dressing, or her wine is too warm, her salmon is undercooked, her salad had wilted from hot chicken. Karen always wants free shit and she used to always get it. Until I became in charge. This one night, I was serving her. Busy night, all of us are in the weeds, running around like crazy. Karen shows up with a friend. As always, Karen makes smart-ass comments, says she knows better than us. Demands Cabernet from Argentina. I tell her we only have Malbec from Argentina. I haven't heard of a cab from there, as it's known for its Malbecs. She laughs and asks me for a menu to prove me wrong. I bring the menu, she reads it and says,
"Oh, I meant Malbec."
Okay, lady, cool story. Then her friend wants a salad from a dinner menu as her side salad to a main course. I say that a side salad is just a garden salad. If you want to upgrade to one of our specialty salads, it's an upgrade, and I'll have to charge you for it separately. Karen starts arguing, and I tell her I'll just add another $2 for an upgrade, instead of charging her a whole $12 for that salad. Despite being in the weeds, I made sure to come back to them more often because I know what a particular guest she is. At the end, she says what a great service I have provided, and tips me 10%, instead of the 20% plus I get from virtually everyone else, despite the fact that I didn't charge her another $10, and that I gave her a 20% member discount before she asked for it. And she also said she liked the service. That's when I said no more. I'm actually a bartender, and therefore I'm in charge when the manager is not there. Now that he quit, it's only me and another bartender that are in charge of front of house, until we get a new manager. Every member of the staff is sick and tired of Karen, because we all had the pleasure to serve her. I told everyone not to give her a discount anymore, and refer her to me if she protests. Sure enough, next time she comes in, there is something wrong with her salad. She wants it off the bill. We refuse. Her Sauvignon Blanc is again too warm, even though it came straight from the cooler and into a chilled glass. Then she wants her member discount, and writes down her room number. Server asks for her member number, but she won't give it to him, and says she is a member. And that's when I step in. I say, "Ma'am, we will be glad to take 20% off your bill if you can provide your 4-digit number for your member account, so we can tie to something." She goes,
"My boyfriend has an account and I don't know the number, and he is not answering my texts."
I say, "Not a problem. I can look him up by his name." She mumbles a name I can't hear. I ask her to write it down, and she scribbles something on a coaster. I say, "Ma'am, I can't read this name, and if I can't find it, I can't give you a discount." She then gives me a made-up name.
"Thomas Jake."
Okay, lady. I punch this name into the system different ways, and there is no such person. Figures. I know all members by name, and I don't know this guy. I go back and tell her I couldn't find him, and if she gets his account number from him, I'll try that. She scoffs and says that she will pay the bill in full, this time, leaving her server a 0 tip. Now I know it's petty of me to seek revenge over a 10% tip, because she did tip me and I should be grateful for anything. But it angers me that she demanded a member discount every time. Members paid over $45,000 to get that discount, but she wants it for free. At the end of the day, she wasn't supposed to get a discount at all. Plus, she was always mean to her servers and always wanted freebies, which is the type of customer we dislike the most in a restaurant business. The restaurant actually lost money by having her, so she didn't do us any favors by coming in. We all hope she is never coming back. All I did was follow the rules. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates number 58. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Okay, this will be Saturday this goes up, won't it? Yep. I'm going to do a little bit of relaxing on Saturday. I will probably stream at some point, but I do have to get a jump on the next Glitch Monthly video, which I will be putting up on the 29th. So I've got it's not quite 2 weeks, but I've got plenty of time to do it. So I'll get to sending emails and that out this Sunday, I think, and I'll start recording what I've already got for it. Yeah, that should be fine. But there will probably be a stream at some point as well. Okay, with that I'm going to head off for now, so until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.